We're going to go to San Jose, where Matias Almeida is taking his team, who finished 10th in the West last year, 10, 13, and 11, 41 points, into yet another season where he's probably going to try and man mark everybody on the field. God, I wish not. My projected 11, again, in a 4-3-3, which is what they played mostly last year. Marcinkowski in goal, a split right down the middle between Thompson and Paul Marie, who basically split time there last year. Nathan and Calvo in the middle, their new signing from Chicago. Lopez at left back. A center mid. The center mid duo is tough. Jan Gregus, Judson, and Chofis Lopez are my three right now, which means, unfortunately, USMNT poster boy Jackson Ewell does not make the starting 11 in this team, nor does Eric Mermetti. So it'll be very interesting to see how that works out for that team, because that's a lot of midfield talent to not have on the team. Anyways, moving into the attack, Espinoza on the right, Kate Cowell up top, and Shea Salinas at left wing. Currently, as looking at their roster, they could be making some changes that we haven't seen yet. What do you think? You think I missed anything? You think anybody else you think there'll be a different shape maybe?
I mean, potentially they could maybe try to work in something that's more central midfield heavy, since that seems to be their strong spot. But no, I mean, I think that's probably pretty fair.
Yeah, the other thing that they're real low on is strikers, but we'll get to that. Did they improve? You think they got better with some of the moves that they've made?
You know what? Actually, I will make one recommendation to change the lineup you mentioned.
Sure.
I think Kate Cowell and Espinosa are probably on the wings, and then Abogasi is probably a striker.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But when I looked up Kate Cowell's stats from last year, he was mainly a central player who drifted out wide. So I originally set it up that way, with Cowell at left wing and Abogasi up top. But I will definitely make that change for you, Connor.
So maybe Abogasi goes on the wing then. I'd be kind of surprised if Shea Salinas is starting for the team still. He seems more like a super sub.
I agree. I definitely agree. Did they get better?
Did they even make any moves?
They brought Calvo in.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they brought Gregerson too.
They did bring Gregerson, yep.
If they did get better, it was like ever so marginally. I really don't think they improved that much. But granted, I don't think they got worse, because I don't really think they lost much.
Sure. I mean, the question isn't did they get worse? The question is, did they get better?
Maybe slightly. That's probably the best answer I can give you. It's just ever so slightly.
I went with no. I don't think Jan Gregus is as big as an upgrade as people are thinking it is.
Probably not. Yeah.
I mean, we've watched Jackson Ewell play. I mean, nobody's going to improve upon it.
He's in the USMNT for a reason.
Duh. He definitely doesn't have Greg in his back pocket. Calvo and Alanis are basically a wash, I think. Abacassis is out, no replacement. Carlos Fierro is out, no replacement yet. Again, and yet, right, this all changes, right? If this gets posted on Wednesday the 9th, and on Thursday the 10th, they go out and sign 4 wingers, and obviously this means nothing. But I don't think they got better this window. No, not yet.
That's fair.
What do they need? They need a left wing, at least some depth. If they're gonna play Cowell out wide, they need somebody who's gonna be able to give him a break. Need some left back depth. You've got Francisco Calvo, who can play out there. You probably won't want to put him out there. Paul Marie can play over there, but you're probably going to want somebody a little bit better over there. Yeah, you're going to want just a little bit of depth on your wing backs there. What about you?
Honestly, I feel like they need depth anywhere outside of central midfield. And obviously they're overflowing with guys there, but I feel like you look anywhere else on the field and they're pretty thin. They have guys there, but I don't think those guys are really experienced much. They seem to consistently be the same crop of guys that are backing up every season. It feels like
yeah.
Matt Bersano was just re-signed, and he's never made an MLS appearance in his career, I don't think. And I'm pretty sure he's the number 2, unless it's Ochoa. But
Man, I wish it's Ochoa. Dude, I'm hoping for a good. I'm hoping he does something good in the next couple of years. I've heard good things.
yeah, I just think this team is super thin outside of the central mid position. So I'd say they need depth almost everywhere.
All right. Best addition. Who do you think is their best pickup?
Well, seeing as how it's pretty much Calvo or Jan Gregus, I'll go Jan Gregus because I just think he's a better player than Calvo. Even though I completely agree with you, and they're not getting the Jan Gregus of a few years ago in Minnesota, but I still think he is a pretty talented player.
Sure, yeah, and I went with Calvo. I think he's an MLS vet who can slide in and basically straight up replace Alanis. Doesn't have to worry about learning the league or the language or anything like that. But obviously, we all know who the biggest loss in this team was. Daniel Vega has retired, and we will no longer be able to speak about him on the podcast. So,
rumor has it you threw a party when you heard that. But again, just rumors.
Just rumors, yeah. No. So they didn't lose a lot. We talked about this just a bit ago. They didn't lose a ton of, starting level players. Maybe not for the better because they weren't great last year. But I'll go say Alanis, right? He was probably one of the best players that they lost. And of course, in the same breath as Diego Valeri from Portland and Chris Wando retiring, takes a little bit of wind out of your sails in San Jose.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, what do you got?
I like the Alanis shout. I'm gonna say probably about on par in my opinion. Maybe Carlos Fierro as well. Just since they're really lacking attacking depth right now. But yeah, I don't think they really lost anything super significant. So
yeah, I agree.
Besides Wando, of course.
Yeah, obviously. But all right, who are you watching this year?
Jackson Ewell.
Yes, sir.
I only got eyes for one San Jose player. I mean, I don't want to go with the obvious one and just say Cade Cowell because everybody's watching Cade Cowell this year. So I'm going to say Nathan. I think he is very similar to Slanina and had a small sample size last year, but in that small sample size was really good. So let's see on a larger sample size if he can, replicate that and continue that success on the field. So I'll be keeping an eye on him this season.
I like that. I am going to say that I picked Cade Cowell, but to go away from the obvious, Oscar Asgren. I watched him a little bit this year. He's a defensive draft pick out of Clemson, and he was in the Herman Trophy finalist list. It was him, Daniel Tevez, and Paul Vara, who made his move overseas already. I think he might, with the way that back line is laid out, he might get a little bit of time. So he might be one to watch this year as well.
That's a good shot.
Biggest question for me going into the season: are we going to stop man marking? Have we not learned that this doesn't work? And then how is Almeida going to use all this midfield talent? But please, can we learn that man marking doesn't work? I'm so tired of watching it fail.
Well, you got probably at least another season of it. Yeah, my question pretty much was the second part that you mentioned. How are they going to make all this central midfield attacking work? I don't know if it's going to be a lineup change or just guys get benched or traded, but yeah, that's pretty much my question.
All right, where are they finishing?
Yeah, I can't really say that they make the playoffs. They really didn't improve on last season where they missed the playoffs. So I'm gonna say they're probably in a similar range to Chicago. I want to say I could see anywhere between like 11th and 14th, honestly.
It's weird because last episode you were trying to put everybody 3 to 6. So now is everybody just going to be 11 to 14? Is that
Listen, it's not my fault that you picked the stronger teams in the first episode and the weaker ones in the second.
I didn't pick anything. The randomizer picked.
No, you picked.
I
That's
did
why
not.
Red Bull's first.
No, I didn't. I swear. Next time I'll send you a screenshot. I also have them 10 to 13, 10 to 14. I don't think that they make the playoffs with this team with the man marking system and the confusion of what shape they're going to make. Could be wrong, but I got 10 to 13.
I'm going to change my question really quick.
Just about
I think
off the board.
my question is, does Almeida make it the full season, or does he get fired before that point?
I like that one. I like that. That might be.
Yeah.
That might. I might have to. I'm gonna have to edit the video to make it like a TikTok and question for the year.
Yeah, I would be very curious to see what San Jose fans say on that, if they think he'll make it the full season, or if they want him to make it the full season.